The whole thing is just mind blowing.
Right?
For a listing appointment, it's probably pretty valuable.
A huge.
That's genius. And then market it on Facebook.
Correct. Now wait till you see it as a website. That's what like really blows my mind away. Now, go. And what we're going to do is we're going to do deep research on the listing I had when you guys were joining in Georgetown. I'm going to use that one as an example. And we're going to go micro data in regards to this area, Wolf Ranch in Georgetown, Texas, and how to make a hyper local listing presentation for this appointment that we would quote unquote be going on. So the first thing I want you guys to do, and then how we typically go through this call is I'll be doing things with you guys at the same exact time. Feel free to follow along. Feel free to watch the recording. Totally up to you. My suggestion would be best thing to do is just be interactive and try to follow along. I'll go a little slower so that everyone can follow. First thing we're going to do, we have to understand what the subject property is. So 237 Arrowhead Mound Road in Georgetown. Subdivision, we're going to be in Wolf Ranch. So with that being said, we need to do deep research inside of Manus. Manus is the tool that we use for all of our deep research. And we're also going to want to plug in the comps that we have for this property. So since we're already on MLS, I'm going to pull the comps first. So let's just simply, as everyone here, I'm sure, can pull their own comps. But for the sake of the example, what we're going to do is just grab the comps here quickly. For the sake of our time today, I'm not going to overanalyze these comps, but I'll make it as close as I possibly can. I'll go back. Okay, give me a drop down. And then, of course, the amount of days back that you go is dependent on your market and your inventory. I need to go back at least 180 for mine. And then I got 35 matches. Okay. Square footage on our bad boy was, let's see, 237. We are at 2511. So I'm going to just make this very simple at 2,000 to 3,000 square feet. And our map, I'm going to draw it real quick. Delete that. And let's just focus on Wolf Ranch. Boom, boom, boom. And let's get all Wolf Ranch here. Awesome. Cool. 2,300 square feet. You know what? I don't need that many comps actually. I got plenty. I can go 90 and I can go 90. Okay. I have almost too many comps. So we'll go with it. We'll run with it. Results. Okay. Perfect. Let's tighten up the square footage. Let's go 300 to 2,800. Hey, we still got a lot. Okay. Let me get my active comps first. All right, 17 active. So what I'll typically do here, I'll take this right here, and instead of me just doing a quick CMA, I actually like to download the details about the properties as well. So I'll click on export here and I'll grab Resi all fields. So I'm not sure what everyone else's MLS is a little bit different, but just find the export that allows you to get all the fields for residential. So I'll grab all the details there, export. You'll see it goes up here. I'm going to click on that in the file. I'm going to rename this to, I forget our address, but let's just call it active lab. Okay. Now I'm going to go back. Now I'm going to get on my pending and I'm going to get my, let's get my pending. Only four pending. Here, export the data, Resi all, export. Okay. And for all those that are joining in a couple minutes here, we are going through on how to make a dynamic listing presentation. So we're making this very hyper local so we can, if we do work other areas, then if we get an online lead or it might be, how can we be the expert in that area that we don't typically serve if we need to? So closed, we're gonna go 90 days here, hold that. So in this area, just in general, we know that we have a ton of inventory sitting. Here, perfect. Okay. Open that up.
Do we group active and under contract? or keep those separate?
Yeah, so I'm going to rename them now. So this one's going to be my active. This is my active. This will be my pending, and this will be my closed.
Okay.
So I'm going to name this pending. You guys can name it whatever you want. I'm just making it easy for myself to memorize what I did. Pending lab. All right, so we got our comps. Now I'm going to pull full CMA of everything that I need. So just grab all those details. And let's do an export. Or sorry, not an export. Let's do a quick CMA. Make sure we select all. Quick CMA down here. And I'll feed all this data back in so it has all the relevant data I could possibly need. Download. Oh, we'll call it lab CMA. Okay. Now I want to open up Manus. Actually, yeah, I want to open Manus. Let's go Manus first. We're going to upload all those files. Sometimes inside of, if you have the free version of Manus, you can only upload one file at a time. So just tell it in the prompt, wait for me to say go, and then we'll proceed. So I'm going to upload the first one, which is just the CMA. And I'm going to say, please, I am in the process of doing deep research in the Wolf Ranch, Georgetown area. Georgetown area to prepare for a listing presentation. Please review all the data I have attached. And complete deep research within this area to highlight me as the expert. Presentation. Um, okay, I'm going to read this out to you guys to make sure we're all on the same page. And then I want, if there's questions, please let me know. I'm in the process of doing deep research in the Wolf Ranch, Georgetown area. Prepare for a listing presentation I have coming up. Please review all the data I've attached and complete deep research within this area to highlight me as the expert, as this will be going into a Gamma presentation as a listing presentation to the prospect. Okay, we're going to make this specific to everything we possibly can. So now what we're going to do, I have to do one more step. I have multiple files. I'm just going to say I have multiple files. Sorry, Zoom. Come on. I have multiple files. Please wait to proceed until I say go.
Hey, Matt, can you post the prompt in the chat?
Sure. Also, I'm going to give you, everyone, my opinion on prompts for a second while we're on this topic. Prompts can be so dynamic and change so much. So even when I give this prompt here, you may get an entirely different response. So as long as it has the same idea of how to prompt something, typically for everyone who's on this call, I like to preface it as who is the AI acting as? What's the questions that I'm asking? What end goal do I possibly want? And how do we go from there? That's how I basically think about asking prompts. I think Damika posted it. Thank you, Cindy.
Also, if we have ChatGPT Pro, should we use that if we don't have Manus Pro or no?
No, we're going to go to that in a second.
Okay.
Reason I say that, Manus is really good at doing deep research in areas, and I've tested between Manus and Perplexity. Perplexity doesn't do as well when it comes to real estate data of what it can research. Manus does a little bit better even on the free version. And it helps that Manus is backed up by this really, really big company called Meta. And they got a pretty big budget, so they're going to be dumping a bunch of different research stuff into Manus compared to Perplexity, and you're going to see Manus just skyrocket on the abilities that it has. So right now, it's waiting for me to upload the additional files, so then I'll just start uploading files. So I put the first one was the CMA, then I'll start with my active lab, then submit, then I'm going to go pending. Again, if you have the paid version of this, you're more than welcome to go for it. I just wanted to give you guys an example. Keep waiting, please. And then we're going to add one more file, and we're going to add closing. Now, go. Okay, now it's going to go do its whole thing. We're going to run the deep research first. It's going to go review everything I have, learn about Wolf Ranch's area, learn about Georgetown, what commercial developments are currently coming. It totally understands what a real estate agent needs to know, and you'll see it's uploaded, it's analyzing the files. Depending on what we receive back from Manus, we'll then be able to say, this is relevant data of what I need, this is not. So right now you can see it's searching Wolf Ranch, Georgetown, Texas community amenities, lifestyle, Wolf Ranch, Texas schools, Georgetown ISD ratings, Wolf Ranch, Georgetown, Texas builders. It's going through everything that we would typically need to have on a listing presentation for us to be able to speak competently about that area. So now it's using browser. Now it's executing command. So it's on my browser right now searching.
And is there a reason why you separated the active withdrawn under contract compared
Just to
to?
make it very crystal clear.
Okay.
Okay, so now it's submitted us the comprehensive market authority report. Now let's review that. So here's the executive summary that it has about Wolf
Matt,
Ranch.
can I ask a
Yeah.
question? Would it be good also to put in here before you start that to describe your subject property more in detail with the upgrades and or things that need to be upgraded to make it more equivocal information as it spits out?
On the next step, yes. Because right now all we're doing is the research of the area. The next
Gotcha.
step after here, we'll be going to the listing presentation and creating it. Right now we're still on research.
Gotcha.
But yes, that's exactly what we're getting into. So executive summary, Wolf Ranch remains one of Georgetown's most prestigious master plan communities, yada, yada, yada. I'll patch this into what I got in the PDF back into the chat so you guys can see what that looks like too and let you guys review that. I'm going to scan it real quick just to make sure that it's going to give me what I would expect it to. Price, that's fine. Yes. Yes. I want to go deeper. Uh, so the way that I didn't give it enough detail in my prompt. So that's a good example of like me not telling the prompt exactly what I wanted or to telling me exactly what I wanted. This is a good start. Now go into further detail as if I was building a full knowledge base on Wolf Ranch and Georgetown, Texas. List some of the most common restaurants, list commercial development, what's coming soon development, closest grocery stores, etc. Make me the expert in this area quickly for me to review in this document. Okay, so now I get a little bit more. So here I'll give you this copy and paste in case you want to play with it. You can kind of see, like, I'm not doing anything really crazy special by prompting. Like, I'm not typing with a Mensa IQ. I'm talking pretty dumb to it and feeding it like a second grader IQ and just saying very quickly of what I want. So here's what it's doing currently on Manus' computer, doing research. It's browsing on Hello Georgetown and gives you a preview of what that looks like. So now it's going to expand its comprehensive research. And once it finishes up this research, we're then going to go into Claude and get everything going. So what I'm going to do to prepare is I'm going to ask Claude real quick while it's doing its research. Please put together a prompt for Gamma to create a listing presentation for me um, for the subject property of, which I don't even remember, 237 arrow. Let's just copy and paste across the line. There.
Matt, why would you not do this in Manus and just keep it simple?
Because Manus doesn't have the same power of writing prompts as Claude. I'm going to ask it to write the prompt for me.
Okay.
You're more than welcome to. You're just going to have a better result by doing it here.
Yep. Makes sense.
Four bed, three bath, 2511 square feet. Um, we will be uploading deep research from Manus on this area, including comparable sales. Um, and we'll attach those documents here as well. So then I'll take it from here. So it finished the new document. No, it did not. Here it is. Okay. Download PDF. Okay, good. So what we're going to do is we're going to take everything that we've downloaded so far today, and we're going to upload to Claude. If you don't have the paid version of Claude, I think you have the same thing where you have to upload one by one. But I have the paid version, so I'm going to quickly just go through it.
Matt, you're recording this, right?
Of course.
Hi, thank you.
All right. Let's see. Is that it? One prompt I put in here that I do not need. I don't need that one. Okay. So please give their prompt for a Gamma to create a listing presentation for me for the subject property of 237 Arrowhead Mound Road in Georgetown, Texas. This is a four bed, three bath, 2511 square feet. We'll be uploading a deep research from Manus on this area, including comparable sales, and we'll attach those documents here as well. We have also researched commercial development and upcoming development in the area. Please include all the comps with charts and an area that shows side by side comparisons. From this, please create me a prompt. Okay. So I'm going to give you guys the prompt that it gives me to make it just that you can just kind of quickly go from here to there. So it's going to go through the documents. It's going to then give me a prompt that we go into Gamma. Gamma is the part that you guys, from those who met me in Dallas at Unstoppable, you guys haven't seen that yet. That's the part that I'm really excited for you to see. Gamma is a cheat code. It is the biggest cheat code in AI, in my opinion, right now. So here's putting together the prompt. I'll copy and paste this into there. And if you guys need it, once you're using your own Claude enough, it's going to learn who you are and who your brand is. So it's going to start writing that stuff in here for you. So you're going to be able to make this very dynamic, but yet fixed for yourself, where you don't have to worry about typing a bunch of things in every single time because it learns who you are. So now it's putting the comps in for me. And the only part that we don't have in here right now is the statistics of us, the agent. What's our current, how many listings have we had this year? How many have we sold? What's our current list price to sale percent ratio, whatever you want to call it? What's our average days on market as us, the agent? And we would want to plug that back in as data to be able to have. So then we're on slide 10 right now. It's still writing it out. So then once you complete this, make this a generic prompt for several other agents to use for this. Okay, we're just done. Now let's check, man, we're done here. Okay. To give you guys a preview of what this is going to look like, this is Gamma. You can see I use it almost every single day. So once you're on here and you start making things, these become your lead magnets. And what we're ultimately going to end up creating is when you send this out, we're going to be able to make it a trackable link so that when they click on this link or they will click on a QR code or whatever it might be, you then know who your active prospects are and who to focus your time on. So let's go back to here.
Have you uploaded the deep research prompt to Claude or is that for Gamma?
I uploaded the deep research from Manus into here, and that's up here.
Okay.
There's the executive stuff. There's two of them. So there's the first one that we did off of the data for Georgetown for me. The second one was commercial developments, upcoming developments, restaurants, that kind of stuff. That's the second document. So I should have active, pending, closing, all fields. Last one is the quick CMA, and then the Gamma docs. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is take this right here and copy and paste this into Gamma. Copy. Now let's open Gamma. We're going to go into Gamma, gamma.app. And once we log in here, I'm going to create new. I'm going to generate from a prompt. I'm going to copy and paste it in. I'm going to go back to Claude to see how many total slides it has because I need to know that. 19 slides looks like 20. Looks like 20 slides. So I'll up this to 20. We're going to make this as a presentation. Add a prompt. Now to take us to the next page, this is where we just start designing. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go back to 20 here. Who are we writing this to? Home sellers and upscale buyers in Wolf Ranch/Georgetown, plus local real estate brokers and investors. That's fine. Confident, authoritative, data-driven, polished, and professionally personable. That's great. Now I'm going to choose the theme based off of my brand. I'm going to pretend that I am Sharon Dawson for a second, and I'm going to use her brand. She's a client with us, so here's her agent attraction brand. I'm going to use hers for a second. Then from there, I'm going to choose photorealistic images, and then I'm going to click generate. Now, once this generates, you're going to then see that it's going to start creating all the different full presentation for me. We can always add on. So I'll let you watch this live. And then we're going to turn this into a PDF and a website. And if you want to get really savage, like this is the most savage thing I've seen yet, buy the domain for the listing presentation before you even go on. So for example, if your listing presentation was at 237 Arrowhead Mound Road, buy the domain on GoDaddy of 237arrowmound.com. Now no other agent can ever get that site. You already own it, and it's going to be on the listing presentation that you send over. Now you have the complete authority and control in that listing presentation. So now everyone do me a favor in the chat. Give me your biggest takeaway of what you've seen so far. And also feel free to come off of mute and share. Cody says time saving. That's fantastic because that's so true. We just saved probably if I were to guess on how long this would take in us, I would say this would be about a week to 2 week project.
The whole thing is just mind blowing.
Right? Now wait till you see it as a website. That's what like really blows my mind away. So like right now you're gonna see it's not me as the picture, but we're gonna be able to do quick research on finding a picture of me on the internet if I don't have one quickly, or just upload from my computer. But if I want to go find out, like it throws an AI image of the home, ideally do a drive-by or find a picture of the house and take a picture here and upload it. Now here where clearly that is not me, but I can click on this. I can click edit image. Over here on the AI images, I can also do a web image search. I can type in Matt Kemp's Lone Wolf Realty Group and see if I pop up.
General picture.
Okay, I have real producers. I have old brokerage. Here's the image I use the most. Now it's added in. So then I'll keep looking through. That looks just like Wolf Ranch, and that's an AI image. Talks about the community highlights. Understanding today's Wolf Ranch market. Here's the active inventory. Here's the current pending sales. Here's the recent closings in the last 90 days. Here's our positioning, where you're built. Here's the average, square footage average, bedrooms average. So we're going to be an average listing in this area with barely smaller lot and slightly smaller home. So at the overall average, we're going to have to be very competitive with our list price. And way I've always gone through with John Deese's coaching, we ought to be the top 25% in presentation, low 25% in price. Look at the competitive advantages. Now here's the direct comparables of the comps. If you want to go the extra mile, like this is ultimate extra mile, copy right here when you click on this, make this a hyperlink and have that go directly to your search website. So for example, my website is search.lonewolfrealtygroup.com. If I want this to be over the top branded to me, I would go find 101 Ashmore Lane on my website on lonewolfrealtygroup.com. I'd find that link, I copy that link, and I make the hyperlink of 101 Ashmore Lane. So now anytime they click it, it still goes back branded to me. It's not going to Zillow, it's not going to Realtor.com. It goes back to me for everything. And that would be a suggestion I would do in case they want to see what the pictures are like because the whole idea, we're going to deliver this to them 24 hours in advance at least. So then start getting all these different comps so that they are relevant to you when they look at the data. Same idea here. Here's our current competing listings of Wolf Ranch. So when we're just looking at this as a general idea, they have this property listed very low. Like this house should have sold by now. The other part, you're going to notice that when it does 3.5 bath, it adds the 0.1. Make a quick little correction there at 3.5 to 3.1. Here's our competitive analysis. Here's our strategic pricing for maximum market impact. 360 marketing strategy for maximum exposure.
Matt, can I ask one question?
Yes, sir.
So I guess in order for us to really dial that in before it hits the presentation, I guess on the MLS, it's better for you to add, delete, subtract which subject properties you want to compare it with, just to see.
Absolutely.
That way, if it's a fully updated property, you want to also have comps of other fully updated properties rather than vice versa, where they're all non-updated. So that
Exactly.
you don't have to edit it in this format, right?
And I made it even harder on myself when I created this. I went to a master plan community that only has new builds in it, and it's got about 4,000 homes in one community. So like it was flooded with information. I'm still impressed at how much it took out. Because I got the square footage down pretty tight, tighter than I normally would. And there were still 40 options to pick from. And I think it has, what, 10? So what, six here, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. So it took 15 of the 40 that were the most relevant of what it thought, and then it dialed it back. But yes, we're still real estate agents. We can't rely all on AI. This is just to increase our productivity and our time. We still have to do our job.
Does this include who the ideal buyer?
So what we would do is ultimately just say, go back into, maybe it does. Let's see. I'll be impressed if it does because I didn't put that in the prompt.
I think that would be
It would be great.
for a listing appointment, it's probably pretty valuable.
A huge.
Yeah.
And Matt, getting back to Keith's point, the making adjustments, I understand similar condition, but for adjustments like bathrooms, finished basements, and that sort of thing, where do we interject that so we get a more accurate price, or is that something?
That would be done at the matrix level, like when you're in your MLS. When you're picking the exact of the homes that you want as the comps, I went through this, like I ran those comps faster than I typically would run comps, just to give you guys a general idea of what was data that I could show you in the presentation. I would still spend the time to run the comps and look at the data that's relevant for you. If there's a basement versus no basement, and then put that back into your prompt of when you want to build the gamma. So when you're in Claude, so first do it in your comps and identify if they have basement or not. Make a note of it. And then secondly, when you're in Claude and you're writing your prompts right here, say in the prompt, if it has a basement or if it has different categories, please identify what those different categories may be and split them up appropriately, and let's add values to each of them as if I was an appraiser doing this. I want to have X amount to a basement, X amount to this.
Perfect.
Okay. Questions every seller should ask. Let's get started. So now what you can do, this link right here, for everyone who, whatever CRM you're using, I'm speaking to Azulio because that's what we use. Schedule your listing consultation. This will go directly to our listing consultation calendar. And I would put that link in and we track every time someone clicks it. We then would put the QR code right here. Create the QR code in Azulio, bring it in. Phone number. This is not my cell phone. I do not share my cell phone. That is a me thing. The fact that I share my cell phone with everyone Unstoppable blew my mind away. You all have my cell now, though. This is always going to be my CRM phone number. I want to track all of my data inside my CRM, the assigned phone number to my CRM. Email. This will be my work email. Website. This would be lonewolfrealtygroup.com for myself. And then my office address, 9600 Great Hills Trail. That's our Austin EXP address. Shantae, which CRM do you use? Azulio.
What are you creating a QR code for once again?
Scheduling the listing consultation if they haven't already. Okay, so we created our listing presentation. Now I want to take this a little bit of a step further. I'm going to come off screen share for a second. Now I want everyone to kind of come off of mute or raise your hand, however you want to do it, and start sharing. Like, what are ways that you would use this, or what would the next step be on what you would use this for? What's your brain starting to think of? I want to kind of get a temperature check of where we're at.
I have a lake house that I need to get in front of everybody.
Okay.
Then I can go ahead and pull some lender information in there. I've got a lender that does 5% loans, 5% down loans and he doesn't use the interest rate like it's a secondary home. He uses interest rates as a primary home. And so I need to get some information tied into that so that I can use it as a marketing tool.
Okay. And then let's play off that for a second. Off of that, to make sure we're hitting the correct people with the marketing content, suggestion there would be direct response marketing to anyone who's looking to have a secondary home with a low interest rate and identifying who the ICP would be and then have Manus do deep research off of that on how you're going to find that specific buyer and give you the process and steps to follow.
That's genius. And then market it on Facebook.
Correct. And then you're inside of Azulio when you create that Facebook meta ad. All you're going to do is then just say my target audience is blank of what Manus tells you to focus on, because that's who the ICP is going to be.
Can
The
we
one thing
schedule
that
a
we
call to
didn't-
do exactly that?
Yes.
You can help teach me how to do that with just that one.
Yes.
Love you.
Anytime.
Well, Matt, the one thing that we didn't do after the presentation was done was creating a website from that and make the website,
We're going to do that. We're going to do that after. I wanted to give everyone a break.
Okay.
Okay.
I mean, you can do this like just as an example, like say you want to farm a neighborhood and you want to do a video CMA to then create a website to then farm to that whole entire neighborhood. I mean, it's just like super, super slick.
You want to hear it? Yeah. So I had an idea when I was at the event Unstoppable, when Brad Korn was speaking and he was talking about the letters that he sends out. Imagine if you're putting a QR code to one of these presentations on that letter or a link to that letter. Now you know, sure, you can have a software tell you what was delivered based off of the address, if it was a valid address, if someone received it, whatever it might be, right? But you don't know if they actually opened it. And the best way to know if they actually opened it is some kind of tracking device of like software wise. Can scan a QR code? Did they look at a link? Did they do something? Because it's paper, it's hard to do it. So QR code would be the best way to do it. And every single person who then opens it now gets put in a smart list. And those are the people who use our prospecting from your farming.
So Matt, if somebody did that, what would be the advantage or disadvantage to use Gamma versus Lovable to create a market expert site with that QR code?
The Lovable would be where they would land, in my opinion. So the Gamma would be more of a lead magnet. Gamma would be the lead magnet.
Yeah.
The ultimate destination of where you want them to go, where you're the expert. Let's say I'm making a Wolf Ranch website, and it's going to say it's wolfranchcamps.com, and I know everything about Wolf Ranch, and I'm farming that area. It would be a website I build in Lovable, and we do it that way.
Right, but when they scan the QR code, when you say it's the lead magnet, so they get this letter with the QR code, the QR code will take them directly to Lovable or to Gamma first?
It would go to Gamma first, let me go through it. That's the sales funnel. And then inside of the Gamma, they would then click learn more about Wolf Ranch and then go through there.
Yeah.
And then you track to see how they get through.
Or learn about how I sell homes in this neighborhood or whatever it is. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just like they're entering up here where it's super wide. You're trying to get them to the bottom of the funnel. The Lovable will be medium funnel.
Yeah.
Bob had a question.
It wasn't a question. It was just how I would use it.
Sure, let's do it.
Yeah. I have a listing appointment on Saturday. It was an expired listing, and she's talking to other agents. So if I have this prepared and sent to her ahead of time, I think that's pretty much going to clinch it.
You will be. I don't have data on this. Just be transparent. I don't. Because it's hard to track how many listings of one versus how much the two technologies come out. I haven't lost a listing presentation in a long time. And I can't tell you the last time I haven't signed a listing presentation from using this tactic. So it makes it very easy, and like the confidence level goes through the roof.
You still doing flowers?
Connor, go ahead. Sorry, Bob.
You still doing flowers?
I still do flowers. Connor, all you.
If we need to change the Gamma presentation a decent amount, do you recommend just rewriting the prompt and doing it again, or trying to edit?
I would delete it. It happens so fast. I would delete the original, the one you created, and then update the prompt inside of Claude, have it rewrite the prompt, and then upload that and just start a new Gamma.
Okay. Thank you.
And then for everyone who's just quickly questioning on what Lovable is, I'm going to show you an example of that real quick, and then we're going to jump into building the web page version of this lead magnet we just built for the listing presentation. So if I go into Lovable, I'll give you guys an example. I am currently building John Deese's website. This is Lovable.
Matt, we can't see your screen, or I can't.
Oh, really? You can't? Thank you,
Everybody
Brian.
else?
How about now?
There you go. Now we're good.
Okay. This is Lovable. Lovable is a vibe coding, and just so everyone knows what vibe coding is, vibe code equals I talk really dumb English to AI, it writes code. That's the best way to explain it. So I don't need to know any way of how to write HTML code on how to build this website. I can just tell it what I want it to do. It'll translate that into HTML, Java, C, whatever code it needs to be, and it'll write it for me. And that's AI creating that on the background. So, for example, I'm helping John Dietz build his website right now. And we're linking all this stuff to where you can work with John, get the book, download my 14-point listing presentation. All of this right here, you would think that this takes me weeks, months to build this. I started this morning. It's been going for just a little bit, and it's nothing crazy. So it built the whole site out. So if we wanted to go create a website, we got 13 minutes left, so I'm trying to respect the time. I'll do this quickly. Let's say I want to take this exact prompt that we had, and I want to go rebuild this and to get into on a website. Please now write this as a lovable prompt to build a consumer-facing website.
This is the Claude prompt.
Yeah, to build a consumer-facing website for everyone to learn more about Wolf Ranch, but have several CTAs. CTA stands for call to action. CTAs within the website that draw back to scheduling time with Matt Kemp's. Use my brand that is saved in your knowledge to build out the design of this site. Okay, so now what it's going to end up doing, you're going to see that it's going to go think about it for a second, and then you're going to get a prompt here that's going to go build out the whole freaking website for me. So it knows my colors. Now it's writing the prompt. And we're going to copy and paste this prompt into Lovable. Lovable will then create the website for me. And what I would end up doing here for SEO purposes, go back to Claude, or SEO, GEO, and AEO. SEO, search engine optimization, GEO, generative engine optimization, AEO, artificial engine optimization. So now what we're going to have here is we would then ask it on what domain and how should I build out SEO, GEO, SEO, AEO to everything here so that everyone who's looking for me, that's looking for Georgetown, would find a Wolf Ranch website, and I basically have this as a landing page for everyone. So we're still building in some details. And then it takes about 5 to 6 minutes for the Lovable site to actually happen and build. So I need this to finish in the next 30 seconds, and then I can show you everything. While this is loading, any questions for me?
What's the easiest way to create your branded, like you have in there, your saved branded knowledge?
Yeah. Left side over here. Let me move my little thingy. Hold on. Right here. Click on that. Click on settings. Inside of here, you're gonna have account, privacy, billing, all this stuff. Go to account. Let me see, general. You can type it here. I must have done it somewhere else. The other thing you can do is you can open a new chat and just say, ask me 20 questions to establish your memory of my brand and how I want you to respond. It'll then give you questions, go answer the questions, and then when you're done with that, tell it to save it to your memory.
Okay.
I must have done it this way because I don't have anything over there, and it must have just saved it. So now the cool part is I can have several different chats like this open. Now, if I go back to my other chat, this one's still going. It was supposed to be going. Um, Update on the lovable. Yeah. Sorry, we're tweaking right now. Let's give us a nice little command R. All right. So what I'm gonna do is now, that's not the one I wanted. Go down here. Does this for lovable? Okay, let that finish up.
Amazing how fast that works.
I know.
This stuff is so awesome. Sometimes I'm like, oh my God, what do I do next? Like, because there's so many ideas you can use it for, you know?
Yeah.
That's part of like the problem, funneling into to use it for the things that really, really matter that we don't like doing right now or we can do better.
If we don't do this, you will be left dying on the vine, because I've already started facing this just the last 2 months in a lot of detail because my clients are coming in extremely educated to my listing presentations, as well as my buyers, like when they're wanting to buy something. And you've got to be ready and on the hook with information as soon as they drop knowledge to you about because they're using AI to farm. A lot of people are moving away from the realtors of the realtor.com and Zillow's of the world and using AI to start their research, and they're super savvy now.
I would 100% agree. I mean, they are using it against us, so we better be able to up our game.
Yeah.
Completely. While this is loading up, if you guys want to, hold on one second. This is a really long prompt. This is gonna take a while to build. Just a heads up. Let me grab this.
Matt, when might this be uploaded, the recording?
As soon as the editor is done. So it takes about 30 minutes for it to render on the cloud. He gets an update and then he push it out. I hired the same editor that John Dietz is using. So all this stuff is pretty much in a cycle now.
Yeah, I'm using
If for some reason we're not able to see the final product, just email it to us because I want to see what it looks like at the end.
It'll be pretty quick once it does the lovable side. This prompt is taking a long time. I'm actually kind of impressed it's still typing because sometimes Claude will actually time out.
What happens if it times out? That's a good question.
You'll tell it to pick up where it left off.
Okay.
Matt, what's the next lab call going to be about? Do you know?
Thursday, I was thinking about doing AI agents and how to use them. Because now we released a new product on the Azulio side where we can build custom AI agents that are not bots. They're actually full agents based off of different lead sources. So if someone's still on Zillow, they have their Zillow AI agent. If someone's working expires, they can have their expired AI agent. If it's SOI, if it's at closing.com, homes.com, whatever it is, right? Depending on what type of source it, buyer or seller, we can build it very custom, and we're going to build it for one source next week and show anyone how they can do that very easily using N8N, make.com, or if you are Azulio, use Azulio. All right, 6 full pages. It's done. We're going to copy it. Okay, for example, when you guys all registered on the lab.azulio.a, I built that with Lovable. So let's go back here. I'm going to go to all my projects. And all I have to do is paste. Done. So now it's going to still start building. And then you'll be able to watch on the left side over here as it's thinking. It's going to be putting together kind of the whole prompt of what you want to build. Full branch authority, design, needs luxury, visuals, complete design approach. Let me build this. Now it's building the website.
This would be an amazing tool to send out to your client for a pre-listing presentation for the analytical data. So step one, you have an engaged conversation about being their listing agent. You create this, send it to them,
Yep.
and you can mail it to them on a nice postcard or something with a QR code to it or something. And then they'd go into it, and then you get the phone call for the listing of presentation. Then you go in with your next level.
I'll give you the even more fun part. Take the whole entire HTML code and build out of this and put it back into your Azulio website. And then you just make different slugs after each one of them, so that only when they after the slug that you send specifically to that client that they see.
You started like a landing page through Azulio.
Because the part that gets annoying with the Lovable versus going back to Azulio, there isn't an easy way to grab all the code that's in here and then put it back into there, so it's all just native inside of Azulio. So we have to basically take the Azulio forms, the Azulio custom values, all that stuff, and then plug it back into Lovable, and then have it go this way. The only other way you could do it is webhook it back, which is what we do for everything, and that would just be a setup that we have to walk you through. All right, we're on the footer. So you can see it's done the index, it's done buttons, headers, footers. So now we'll get a preview here, hopefully in a second. If we go long, I'll stay on till 11:05 just so I can show you the preview. If you got to hop off, I totally respect that. We'll get the recording uploaded. So I'm really building in suspense because it's taking a while. But just thinking in mindset wise, this would be something, once you see this results, this is something that would take someone 6 months to build.
Wow.
It's gonna do this for us. I think we started this process of this website, I think like 11 or 10:43 Central. We're 17 minutes in right now. And I was bouncing between questions and ideas, so let's just call it 15. It's now building all of this stuff out based on what we told it here. It's on Market Pulse now. It just did some statistics. It's writing the whole thing out. And then you'll get a preview here in a second. So the part where this gets fun, on the top right where it says publish, we're going to get a lovable type domain on the top right. If we want this to go to a custom domain, example, the Savage Move, where you buy the domain of the address you're going to. So if I'm going to a listing presentation at 123 Main Street, I'm going to go buy 123 Main Street before they can even go on market, and I'm going to throw it to this presentation to 123mainstreet.com, assign that domain, no other agent can grab it, and now you have full control of the listing.
I feel really bad for web designers right now.
Oh, they don't have a job anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is so much better than a typical web designer too.
Well, except for those web designers who have figured out they can just do this and sell it to people that don't understand what they're actually, not spending any time on their own doing it. There's a few of those, I'm sure. We'll still
There's a lot of those.
Yeah.
So I was talking to Rob. Rob's my co-founder at Azulio, and his dad was going through a website build process. They own a retail bike company, and they were going through a process. And the guy's like, he wants to charge me $7,000 for my website. And Rob's like, please tell me you didn't pay it. He goes, well, I did. And he goes, well, I'll try to get that refunded. And then Rob hops on Lovable, takes all the SKUs of all the different bikes, uploads it to a prompt, tells it to go build it out, builds the webhook back to their original CRM. The website was up in an hour.
Wow.
Okay, we're building one of the more impressive websites I think I've built in a while. So let's see how long it keeps taking. So we've done Why Wolf Ranch, we've done a Market Pulse, we've done an About preview, we've done the Call to Action Center. section, we're built our backend, what's called index. We have some more market data. We're building some information about the community right now, and it's going to have some animations. It's going to have hover effects. We have topography. We're using enter for the body, bold, weight for impact. Those are my colors that you see at the top. So Azulio, there's my hex color for that one. There's this hex color, and then there's this hex color. I'll give it 2 more minutes. If not, I'll post the final results back up, and then we'll go from there. In the meantime, if you guys ever want to schedule time with us directly at Azulio, I'm going to put that in the chat for you guys so you have that calendar link. And we'd be more than happy walking through this with you guys, because this is what we do for you and build it out for you.
So when we want to create this and then webhook it back into Azulio, we just send you the code that we get from Lovable and say Azulio.
No, you would just add us to the project. So you would go into Azulio project support on the bottom left.
Yeah.
Send us a request saying, hey, I want to get this sent out. You know what? Maybe that's what I should do next on Wednesday. I'll show everyone how to do the webhooks. So when we do the Wednesday training for Azulio clients, I'll walk you through it. We're going to do contacts, but I'll save 15 minutes and we'll go through that. Okay, there's my calendar link if you guys want to schedule time with me directly. We're now doing the About section again over here. So let's just plan for this. And if I don't get this website up here in the next 30 seconds, I will post this into the Azulio group community and show you guys what the preview looks like. I will not make any changes at all. I'll show you what it puts out. And then on the next call, we can spend 5-10 minutes on how to edit it and how to make some changes and then go from there. So sorry, I didn't get to give you the exciting portion of being able to see it, but we will be able to see it here shortly.
Matt, this seems like a real webhook. You're not finishing the first call, so we got to come back for the next.
I know. I'm just, I'm tying you guys in. All right, guys. Have a great week. I'll be live Thursday for the lab. That one's at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Same link that you used today.
Thank you very much,
Thanks.
Matt.
All right, bye, y'all.
Thanks, buddy. Bye.
Take care.
Hit subscribe and turn on notifications for weekly AI marketing strategies with Matthew Kemps.